Sasa ndio mnataka kujifanya ni we care. And Emily is dead. We want a fundraising ya nani? Mukome. Kwanza huyo mtoto msichana arudishwe Mayu. Akule hewa ya Mayu. Ako na German passport. Apande ndege arudi Germany. Serikali watamlisha. Hapa they take care of children. The government will take her. Asisumbuke kwa hiyo jua. Na huyo mtoi wa Mili. Men will take advantage of that girl. Huyo msichana arudishwe Ujerumani. That is the only way to save that girl. Huyo mtoto arudishwe hapa Ujerumani. The government will take care of her. Atapewa kindergarten. Atalipwa 30,000 per month. Pesa yake taslimu. Pesa ya watoto. Huyo mtoto asiwachwe Kenya. Men will take advantage of that girl. Arudi. Na nita follow up. Huyo mtoi arudishwe hapa Ujerumani. Ako safe in Germany, definitely. Hayuko safe Kenya. Akifika tu 18 hivi, hata afika 18, 16, 17, wanaume wataanza kutake advantage of that girl. Hapa she has a future and she has protection na unajua akona rangi sana ya wazungu. Ana nini? Akona yani ameshika sana rangi ya wazungu. So life yake itakuwa easier huku Germany, not in Kenya. Ako 16, haya basi. Wanaume wataanza tu kumkatia. Na kupenda kidogo kidogo, they start misusing that girl. Memes wewe ndio huwa uko kwa udaku zote. Hebu fuatilia story ya huyo mtoi. Fuatilia story ya huyo mtoto wa Mili. Arudishwe hapa Ujerumani. Wewe ukosangi udaku. Fuatilia story ya huyo mtoi. In the next 2 months, mamake akishazikwa, arudishwe hapa Germany. We want to see her here in Germany. Aende shule, afanye Ausbildung, aishi maisha yake. You know the system. Na nyi watu, if you want to help this Mili story, make sure huyo mtoi amerudi Germany. Huyo mtoto wake. Make sure kama huyo mtoto ako na passport, aulizwe kama passport yake bado iko valid. We have people who can stand for that girl hapa Ujerumani. Apate nyumba ama pelekwe Jugendamt straight. Jugendamt waone vile ataishi. Huku kuna social services za watoi. Hiyo sio tatizo. Bora she has her valid papers. Na ni mtoto wa Jerumani, hana shida. Brian ni nani? Brian ni ndugu yake. Brian hawezi kuja Germany because I don't think if the mother ever brought the brother to Germany. Germany, you must have a residential permit to be here. Na ndugu yake kama hana hawezi kuja. But brother si ni hardcore. Brother anaweza survive. Huyo mtoi ndiye hawezi survive hiyo vumbi na hiyo jua. You know, with her mother she could. But decision huyo Mili pia li make na mtoi pointi pia we. Akona connection na budake. Yeah, then babake anafaa kumchukua. Then the father should take her. But wazungu pia we kwa mini mzungu na mtoi uanga ni 50-50. Na nasikia babake akona do. Huyo Milisi alisema kwa interview the father has money.
Anyway, moving into other things. Niliona nini? By the way, V8, nimeona huyu msana anaitwa Miliwa Doc. I've had, I think she's been trending here and there. Probably you know who she is. Her funeral is going on in Nakuru. I understand she had a will. She'd asked to be cremated. But I think the family wanataka kunini. Family wanataka kumzika. Initial amount nilisikia walisema ilikuwa 5 point something M that was needed, but they've cut it down to around 2.5. Now, I do not know. Since it's been a minute. I think I was in Kenya last 3 years ago. I don't know how much the cost of burial has shot in Kenya. But 2.5, guys, I mean, make it make sense. 2.5 for someone that probably did not have a pending bill, because I don't know how long, how probably, if she was admitted in hospital. I don't know how, maybe she was in bed ridden and stuff like that. I don't know if she has any pending bill that need to be cleared. But then again, this 2.5, is it from the family or from well-wishers, guys? Do you know how they're planning it? Are they requesting for support from well-wishers, or is something they just want to do it by themselves? Because I'm thinking 2.5 is quite a huge amount, considering that this is someone that... Yes, Mariam, exactly. Hata mimi nimeiona. Thank you, Winter. I've seen that video akisema ako ndaka family wakuja takifa na she didn't want to be buried. She preferred to be cremated. But then if there's no written, if she didn't put anything down, guys, any of you here that kuna vile napenda ziko, you need to do a will, because words of mouth don't usually count, especially in African societies.
I wanted to ask you, Ati, when it comes to the will, people always respect if the court comes in, ama because kuandika, it just said by the words.
Yeah, it must be something that is binding. It must be done in a binding manner. So she would have gone to her solicitor, lawyer, whatever thing it is, and then had that will written and signed to confirm that it's her. Because then when you say things here, sometimes you say things out of anger or out of emotions, so then that is not binding, it's not strong enough. You cannot just come in and say, oh, my mom said she should be cremated. Yeah, my mom might have said it out of frustration, but then she didn't make it binding. So I honestly don't think that that wish is going to be respected from the look of it. And then also, African society, we love death so much. When someone dies, we get an opportunity to make a kill. So maybe again, what hiyo cremate is about 20 or 30,000. That is so little money, and they want to probably make money out of this, because Millie herself said her family never loved her, never cared for her when she was alive. So if they didn't love her when she was alive, definitely even in death, they might just want to take advantage of her presence, of her death, make money out of it. Because why? Someone tell me, this 2.5, was there a breakdown? Why would they need 2.5 to bury this lady? Surely 2.5 hata si half a million, kwa sababu in my mind 100,000 atapata very beautiful sanduku. More maybe kwa another 100,000. Assuming what a caterer, maybe 200,000. That is 400,000. Alafu 100 is miscellaneous. I mean, half a million should give a decent burial. Guys, I could be wrong though. I don't know how pompous this burial is supposed to be. I have zero idea. And then again, it's not in my place to dictate how people are buried. Please note that. What I'm saying is, if they're expecting support from well-wishers, that is a little bit overboard, right? But if they're using their own resources, my friend, by all means, hata kutaka ku budget kwata 10 million, it is absolutely fine, because it's their money. Yeah, Lori, yeah, if they're doing like a trust fund for the kids that are left behind, that makes sense. And I'm thinking if they decide to do michango for the burial, any extra money should be saved for these kids. Because I'm telling you guys, if the family did not love the mother, how about the kids? So definitely, Saizi, they're going to show face, they're going to show support. But as soon as this mother, the lady is buried, the kids are going to be there on their own. So if there's anybody that is supporting this girl, they should fight so much that any money collected should be put in this kid's trustee or their account, because they'll need it. I know they're probably 18, but they still need that little support that the mom used to give them before they are grounded. They probably go to college or they have a source of income. So I think that's quite important, So I don't know. I don't know how they came to that budget. I can't tell. I don't know. I've not paid that much attention, but I had a lady say that it's 2.5. Today I had someone wakioko kwao akasema ati initially it was meant to be 5.2. Unaweza nipandisha, I won't interrupt. Yeah, you can come up if there's, I hope there's space. Yeah. So yeah, I hope they make the best of it, and I hope people that really truly the friends of Millie should now make sure they speak for those kids, guys. Mimi, I remember when I married my parents, you know, when you have these things, people will come, everybody want to look nice, people will come and give you reassurance, will be there for you. But as soon as you bury your mom, everybody back on their cars, in their families, their comfort, unapigia hata mtu simu, hauna fare hata kurudi shule. Someone anakuambia, okay, I'll see what to do, and that's the end of it. So kama kuna marafiki zake, if they're friends of this lady that care for her, I think they should really stand. At this point, people need to focus on those kids. At this point, I think the focus should be on those kids, right? V8, hebu fungua kamera uniambie kama unajua update ya Yumna ni Miliwa Doc.
Kabla mfungue, hi Ati, hi Jamal, hi Roach, hi Kala, hi Konkala, hi V8, hi Roundy. Okay, hi Ati, so you can continue. Na mute.
No worries, we are talking about Miliwa Doc. I don't know whether you know her.
No, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna cut up. I'll cut up.
Okay, no
If
worries.
you don't mind.
Okay, okay, no worries. V8.
Thank you.
Kala. Ala, yani mimi niko hapa peke yangu.
Yeah.
Huyu anaitwa nani? Huyu Miliwa Doc, this lady that died a few days ago. There's been some funeral arrangements for her, and apparently the budget initially was 5.2, and they brought it down to 2.5. Do you have any breakdown on how they reached to that amount? It was just a random decision. Definitely there must be a budget.
I don't have a breakdown, but I was asking myself, what did they put into consideration when they were making that budget? Huh?
Yeah, the same thing. The same thing I was asking myself, because I think that's a little bit on the high side, especially if they expect public support.
Mm-hmm.
At the family outfit for 200K, are they for real? Why would they need 200K worth of outfit and kuva? I wanna go the black. That's a joke. No, that's a joke, guys.
That is a stepfather. That is a stepfather who has come out with that figure, 2.5.
So anyway, let me ask you, is this money, do they expect public support? It's from their own pocket? Because honestly, if it's from their own pocket, that's fair enough. You know, we can only speculate, but fine if they will have a budget of 10 million, why not? You know, because they choose what to do with their money and how they bury their loved one. But if they're expecting support from the public, then I think that's a little bit on the upper side. The expectations are too high, are not realistic. So they have zero, they need it from the public. Are they for real? They expect support, but that is unrealistic. If they expect support, then that is honestly okay. Let me speak as someone who can, you know, anaweza peana mia yake moja nikose kuchoma kinduku loma 200 and all whatever, you know, because now that gives me the power to have an opinion, you know. Because initially I thought, okay, they're just sharing with us because Millie was a TikToker, so they've come out here, they're telling us, look, this is the plan we have for Millie, and the only reason we are sharing with you guys because she was a TikToker. But then if they expect public support, that is a little bit, actually not a little bit, that's a lot. It's unrealistic, it doesn't make sense. Okay? They want money to buy land for Brian to live in and also bury Millie there. It doesn't make sense. Brian is a young man. He'll work hard. He'll get his own money. He'll buy his property. I mean, it's not the guys. I don't want to come out as mean, but Brian is not the first one. Ule ameachwa yatima. At least he ameachwa akiwa adult. There are people right now as I speak. Their kids 6 months old. Wameachwa yatima. Their parents, unfortunately, are not known by anyone. Unaona? So we have to be realistic. People should support the burial. Brian is a young man now. Anybody that wants to support him to be self-sufficient, support either apelekwe college, ama apewe kazi, atafute kazi pesa yake, ajunule land yake. He's still a young man. He has the time to work himself up there. It will not be realistic if you said that, presidents, ati mtu akikufa, ati mnachanga mpaka za kumnulia land. To me, it doesn't make sense. It's not realistic. But then again, this is my opinion, guys, because it's out here on the public domain and they expect the public to support. But then again, why would they need 10 bodyguards for? Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's good. One party job.
I think unajua ile mazishi ya the late Brown Chira. Sasa the society akona mtu akikuwa celebrity alafu tukuja hapa kwa social media like TikTok or any other application tukileta grievance na mtu alikuwa famous, tunaweza pata equivalent amount of money ama tunaweza pata hiyo support kubwa. So alafu tena vile tunaposikia the family was not even there, so I think that trying to take opportunity of this of her fame kwa social media ndo wapate ile sympathy support. That's what I'm trying to think. But anyway, that me sijui when it comes to mazishi huwa zinakuwa expenses gapi, because sisi tu tunazika tu haraka na inaisha. So I don't know how they came up with that budget.
But Jamal, Jamal, you are right. Yani watu wamekuja kuona wa Kenya, they have money and they're using this platform for each and every situation. It doesn't matter what. I mean, I'm sorry for her loss and whatever. Lakini sasa baada ya concentrate on one situation, they bring other situations. So you have to help the whole family with their problems. Iko ni mazishi wanaongeza mpaka mpatie huyu mwenye ameachwa kazi. You have to sit down and think how that person to live, how the person has to live. I mean, that's plenty fair, because you want to help the person who is gone, but then you're given another burden. No. And so, and the TikTokers, they're not stupid. Kubali vitu kama hizo, wanasema, no, we are going to only help the place we are seeing, not that we help the other person. Okay, people are naive. They also help when they want. Yeah, but yeah. It's being used.
Wish to be cremated. Why are they forcing these things na wanajua hawana pesa? They have never been there for her wakati alikuwa na wahitaji. Na alikuwa anasema, hakuwa anaogopa kusema. Saa hii amekufa, wanang'ang'ana, wanataka my God, 2.5. I didn't even use that figure wakati tulikuwa tunazika my late dad. 2.5.
One of these days, if they're alive, I'll go there and ask them some very realistic questions, because the fact that they're saying that you want to take a 5 point something and they're willing to accept, like really, surely, you see, the death is theirs. Matanga ni yao. Sisi we are just spectators and we can help where we can help, but then again, it's got to be realistic. Unaelewa? Another thing, people are different. Gracia Chira, sio Gracia Meli. Besides, Rosso is no longer on Kenyan TikTok. Unaelewa? Matanga Chira was quite a laughed. You cannot compare the two people. Everybody comes with their grace, people. Kila mtu akona grace yake, guys. Unaona? That is why unapata, utaenda mahali, unapata mtu, someone just shows up from nowhere and I'm gift at 5 lions, ama 5 universes, because that is their grace. We cannot all walk on Chira's grace. Chira's grace was Chira's grace, and it cannot be anyone else's. So we cannot use Chira, unaona, kama what? We cannot, Chira cannot be the SI unit of what people need to get. So if they are looking at Chira and thinking, oh, Chira got 8 million, since it's like a 5 million, they are lost. Rule number 1, time changes. The TikTok that there was 5 weeks ago is not the TikTok today. Unaona? Things keep changing. Interests change. People change. Unaelewa? Maybe like Chira, a lot of people were giving because there's something they were after, right? They've gotten what they wanted. So they're not going to come to Melis because there's nothing now they need. What they needed, they got it at Chira's. Okay? There's seasons for everything. And that's something they need to acknowledge. Now, when you're seeking support, they need to make things very open and realistic. People should support them to bury this lady, because I'm sure that the people that loved her, she had her fans, who would love, as we do in African culture, support the burial of this lady. But the family, which she vehemently condemned when she was alive, should not try and take advantage of her death. Unaona? ati ile nyumba wanafanya meeting iko na 195 rent arrears. Sasa hebu nikuulize, huyu mwanaume alikuwa nayo, si this Millie had a man, what was the, huyu mwanaume alikuwa anafanya kazi gani kama baka rent wako nazo to almost to the tune of 200k realistically speaking?
Nani ati ni mambo ya rent kuniingia poa, kwa sababu I don't think kama kuna landlord atangoja ufikishe 195k nani
No, I
ya
don't
rent.
think. Maybe they need to bring evidence. I think maybe they are bringing things up, unaona, to thingy, to up the money, to give them a reason to nini you to bump up that money, because to me it doesn't make sense. But then again, anything they say, guys, I think evidence people should be asking for. Ati ni up, yes, okay. Let me take off my backup. They should bring evidence, because right now we don't trust them. Meli mwenyewe alisema trust family yake. Unaona? So sisi
Yeah.
strangers ndio trust family yake. Kama Mili alisema shida hataki kuna familia yake akifa, sebuse sisi. So hizo vitu za rares wanasema maybe hiyo kwao ni miradi. Unaelewa?